Hello everybody, welcome to this week's video. We're in Module 3, Week 3 of our course in Spring Semester 2023. So this would be hopefully a pretty quick one, but you want to make sure you want to stick around to the very end of the update video because I'm going to go over the midterm a little bit, give you a little preview of what some of those questions look like. I know we haven't had any quizzes in the course so far. So usually the quizzes kind of give you an idea of the difficulty of questions you might see on a midterm and final. So we're going to take a little preview of some questions, give you a flavor of what they look like, the difficulty, and how you might want to be ready for it when you click start on that midterm. So stick around to the end. All right, a couple quick things on the work that we've done so far. Great job on the learning activities. You guys are getting great points, great, almost full points for many of you on that assignment. If you are getting some points off, it's usually because you're not showing your work. And again, make sure that you show your work. That's one way I can give you points even if you don't have the correct answer. Showing your work can be a screenshot of the calculator that you use. Some of you are still doing stuff longhand. That's fine in some cases, but when we do introduce a calculator and we do these online financial calculators throughout the course, use those. They'll save you a ton of time, and just screenshot to show your work, okay? And that will be enough to, that shows your work. So it's good enough for me. So make sure you're doing that to capture as many points possible. Now, you also did the progress journal, so thank you for that. A theme throughout quite a few of the progress journals was some anxiety over the formulas and math that might be presented in the course. Totally get that. It's completely normal, but just know that you can get an A in the course without having one correct answer, again, if you just show your process. And that process is by showing your work either through screenshots or if you're doing longhand, you can if you want to, but just show your work. At least I can give you some points for that. But when you don't give me anything, there's not much I can do. But you could definitely get an A, very comfortably get an A in this course without having one correct answer. But you do need to show reasonable application of process that we learn about throughout the course. So there's that. Okay. And then the last thing I want to talk about before we do a quick midterm review is late work. I do accept late work. A few of you have some missing assignments. I definitely recommend that you get that in. It's how students lose letter grades. If you're missing a couple of 50-point assignments, you're already in B territory. So do get those assignments in. You'll notice in the grade book, I'll put a 1 point in there. Don't let that freak you out. If you see a single point in there, just read my feedback and you could still submit that for course points. I just put the 1 in there as kind of a, hey, you're missing something. Let's get that assignment in. And then some of you did the extra credit. So, we have kind of extra credit Easter eggs throughout the course. Those are they're usually nested within some of the videos. Totally up to you if you catch those, but I know that 3 of you got some extra credit last week. So, and there's going to be more. So don't feel like, oh my God, I missed it. Well, that's fine. There'll be more of those throughout the course, and they're almost exclusively in those videos. So, again, it's extra points there if you need it. Most people don't, but it's there if you want it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that midterm. Let's pull my picture off to the side. All right, let's go into the midterm. We'll scoot that over, and we'll do preview. And we'll just review, I don't know. The first, let's see here. Take a look at this. Yeah, maybe we'll do the first, 5 questions or so. So let's take a look at the first 5 questions. Again, these are exact questions. So if you want, screenshot them and solve the answers. You can at least have the first 5 already knocked out of the park. So, but again, it will give you an idea of the difficulty of questions that you're going to have. So what I would recommend is, like, before you go into this, have your calculator, whatever, the calculators that we've introduced, have those, those tabs open and ready to go So you can do, like in this case, you're doing a future value question. So you can have your future value calculator, ready to go. So you can see here the ordinary annuity with, payments, 15% interest rate. So that's, that is a plug and go. Do not do that longhand. I would just have your calculator and knock that out and you'll get that question done. A present value question, again, use a calculator. Another future value question. Again, I try not to make them too complicated. It's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to throw a lot of, red herrings in there or what's the interest rate that I should use. You may see different terms used for interest rate that we've seen, especially in the textbook, but it's usually pretty simple to figure it out with it. I'm not trying to trick you. I just want to see if you can actually, use, again, potentially an online calculator to get this answer. So there's future value questions. Again, savings certificate, basically we used to call them CD, certificate of deposits. You buy a 6-year, 8% savings certificate for $1,000, compounded annually. So I'm not trying to trick you there, versus monthly or continuous compounding. So your annual period on there. What is the value at maturity for that $1,000? And then question 5. Okay, so we got a perpetual preferred stock. Remember how those work? Preferred stocks, fixed dividend, $100. Again, break that down. Again, we got the interest rate there. So you got all the inputs are kind of there for you. My recommendation would be to have those calculators ready to go. All right, so there you go. There are the first 5 questions of the 30 questions within this week's midterm. Very doable to get a great grade on this course. I think the time on there, I'm very generous on time. I don't think anybody's ever gone out of time on this particular midterm, so there should be plenty enough time for you to calculate things out, get the right answer, and do really well on the midterm. I'm not trying to trick you on these things. I just want you to be able to have some comfort level, with especially financial calculators, because these things can come up, and these are not necessarily these financial principles. Not only do they relate to healthcare administration and the decisions that you make in day-to-day management, but also you definitely can see applications in your own life, in personal life, buying a house, buying a car, these types of things. So, yeah, so definitely, I want you to have that comfort level with some of these financial calculators, so it takes the mystery out of it. All right, so there we go. That's what's going on for this week. Again, if you guys have any issues, let me know. You talked about it in the last video, but you can get a hold of me through text message and email is usually the best way. But so far, things like what they're going really great for the group. So everybody have a fantastic week, and I'll check in with you next week. Thanks.